Hello, everyone. This is Durrani and Sharif from VG247. And by the time you're watching this, you will have seen the final piece of Exodia. The Battlefield 2042 Exodia piece has now been revealed, being Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone. So we've got All Out Warfare, which is the default game mode that we know, being Conquest and what's the other one? And Breakthrough. We have Battlefield Portal, which is a mismatch of mods and you being able to customize your play experience. And now we have Battlefield Hazard Zone. Sharif, I'm really excited about this. We're going to go deeper into it, but explain to everyone what Hazard Zone is.
Yeah, so Hazard Zone, it's kind of like something new for Battlefield. But if you play a lot of other shooters, like some of these tenants should be familiar to you.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a little bit of BR, a little bit of the Division Dark Zone, a little bit of like Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown.
Yeah.
Basically, what this boils down to is that it's squads of four. They insert into the big 7 maps that we have at launch, the big all-out warfare maps.
Yeah.
Trying to capture data drives from crashed satellites across the map. And in doing so, you will run into other players, other squads, trying to do the same thing, and AI protecting these crashed satellites.
Ooh, PvPvE.
PvPvE. And the goal is to basically not so much to kill or like rack up like a score, but just to extract with as many of these data drives as you can.
Yeah.
There are only 2 opportunities for you to extract. One is like kind of midway through the match. This is kind of the low or the less riskier option.
Yeah.
And then a riskier other one that's closer to the end of the match.
Yeah.
There's always a clock ticking. A storm is going to roll in and create a no-fly zone. So if you don't extract at the first one, or you don't extract at the second one,
You
that's
dead,
it.
boy.
You lose all the data you've collected. You lose everything that you've found in the match.
Yeah. So what do these data drives even do? What is the whole point of these data drives? What are they used for?
It ties up to the story of the sort of the backstory of Battlefield 2042. If you watched the Exodus short film they did with Michael K. Williams, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, so it's basically the end of that short film was basically him putting on a call for notepads to try and basically insert into these locations and to capture these data drives because they contain a lot of like valuable intel. There isn't so much gameplay I guess repercussions for them. They really turn into a currency once you extract with them and go back to the menu.
Yeah, dark market credits.
Dark market credits, that's right.
Yeah.
But it's not so much like it's not like the Division where you're capturing like valuable, usable weapons. It's just it's a thing that you capture. Think of it as like just an ethereal thing that turns into money.
Yeah.
Which you then spend on passive upgrades for your character, so you can use in the next round, which is stuff like carry more data drives, like expanding the storage for data drives, carry more grenades, carry more magazines for your primary weapon, stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool, to be honest. So that's the loop, right? So you go in, you're battling against other players who have the same objective as you. The same objective is to get data drives. Those data drives are being protected by AI squads, which sort of shake things up a little bit, so it doesn't make it that easy. So you can't just run in quickly, undetected, and no one knows you were even there, and then extract. You are going to be making noise, and of course, if you've played any battle royale or any game similar to this sort of subgenre of battle royale, soon as shots have been fired, you know every single team is going to have their sights on you. But then you take those credits to the first extraction zone if you want to, which is an easier one to get out. It's a low risk. If you don't, you can stay on the map and you can find more more data drives, right? And then you can you have a gadget that can locate these data drives regardless of where they are. So you can see other teams carrying them as well as on the map.
Yeah, the gadget is basically something that you can choose to bring into the match with you. Because keep in
Yeah,
mind, like you need to be careful with what you pick up before the match begins.
yeah,
And my understanding, we haven't seen a lot of gameplay for it. We basically saw the stuff that you're seeing now
yeah.
in the premiere. But my understanding is that it is you don't know who's carrying it. You don't know what's the state it's in, but you know there's data drives in this, let's say, quadrant of the map.
Yeah,
So you could be basically going into a trap, and then you think, "Oh, I'm gonna go pick up this stuff," and it's like carried by a full geared up
a
squad.
whole squad. One thing to note also that it's 24 players on last generation and 32 players on current generation, four-man squads.
Yes.
Some of the upgrades. So we have. So let me continue the gameplay flow. So if you don't go to that first extraction, you continue to fight, get more data drives, and then you can go to the second extraction point, which is going to be a complete hot zone. I'm not sure how it works from the trailer. It seems as if the chopper comes in and it is immediate. You can just rush the door on the extraction helicopter or ship and well, I say ship, but you know what I mean, like airship, and just go. It's not like sort of division how you would call something in and then like a rope would just be there and you're attaching
Mm.
your loot to it and then you can extract, or in
Yeah.
the hunt or EFT where there's like zones on the edges of the maps that you can run to extract. It seems like once it's there, it's every man for himself, and it goes if one person's in there. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, the specifics of that are not clear.
Yeah,
Like I said, we haven't seen a lot of gameplay. They said that the extraction point will be random, so
yeah,
you don't know when it's going to come. The trailer that you're hopefully watching now is basically a bunch of people. They see the cargo bay door opening, they jump into it, and then
yeah,
this is how they leave the match. You're not going to attach a thing to a rope and then extract like
yeah,
your person from something different. No, it's just get on it. A couple of points we should note is that only one squad can use any of those extractions. So one
yeah,
squad for the first one and another squad for the second one. So basically, out of the 6 or 8 squads that insert, only 2 can leave
yeah,
the match. And if you like, because you can die in this mode, and if
yeah,
you know 4-person squad and 2 or 3 players die, you'll still get rewarded if even one of you makes it
yeah.
onto the condor.
Which is really cool, right? And because there is, you can go down in hazard zone, but it's down but not out. Similar, you've seen this mechanic before, down but not out. And if you get finished, you go into a spectator view. But beforehand, before you actually drop onto the map, your team has a choice to bring a resurrection in for you. I'm not sure
Yeah,
how many you can bring in. These are also available on the map also.
yeah.
But say for example, if you know you've got a player who's prone to dying frequently, you can just bring one in for him just in case.
And there
So
are
yeah,
points across the map like Apex Legends where you can just
yeah.
call in your teammate again.
Yeah,
Uh,
indeed, indeed. And so you've extracted now. You've got all of these dark matter. I want to dark market credits. Um, so we're spending them on things like, so I'm looking at a list now. So for free you can always go in with 20 plus armor. You can also go in with 50% additional credits for kills on occupying forces. So occupying forces are the AI, right?
yeah,
And then with the dark market credits, you can buy things like reinforcement uplink that can bring back killed squad mates that can only be used once. You can get switch weapons 15% faster. You can get data drive carry capacity +2. You can, should you fall in battle, reimburse 50% of your loadout and tactical upgrade costs, which is really cool because in Escape from Tarkov, before you go in, you can insure your weapons.
yeah,
So if you die and no one collects your loot, you get it back. You can get back everything, but it's quite a hefty cost, just like insurance in real life. You can also spot enemies 50% longer. You can heal 20% faster. One additional mag for your primary weapons, which is quite interesting because one additional mag means that ammo is going to be scarce, right?
yes. And they basically emphasize that you maybe don't want to take every fight you see.
Yeah,
Even especially if you're fighting the AI squads, if it takes too long and you're drawing a lot of attention and losing ammo, you're kind of in
yeah,
a bad spot because someone else is going to roll up on you and kind of finish you off, like third partying
yeah,
and stuff that happens in VR games. So pick your battles carefully. The goal again is to extract with many drives as possible. So you
yeah,
want to be stealthy, but
Hmm.
not. You know, what I mean, it's an interesting mix for sure.
It's
Uh,
saying that I like that because it's quite easy to fall into the trap of like of the BR trap of just going guns blazing and just trying to go for kills. And I like how they sort of counter that with limited ammo.
there won't be any competition at the extractive. There's no one to fight for it.
There you go.
Eliminate the
That is
competition area. You know, you
you're thinking way ahead, dude. You can also heal. There's also mods that you can heal 50% faster. Reveal data capsules drop locations 30 seconds before they land, which I
Yeah.
think that sounds crazy.
So
It,
there, on top of the satellites that will be there when you insert,
yeah,
there are other untouched satellites that will land during the match,
yeah,
and those will not be defended because they're basically fresh and they're even more valuable. But obviously, everyone knows they're landing, so
yeah.
they're riskier.
That's it. You can increase your throwables, so grenades, molotovs, all of that sort of jazz. There's this one looks quite nice. 100% additional credits rewarded for extracted data drives. Oh, that sounds really really nice. I wonder how much that one costs. So we're going to be going into custom loadouts. One thing I would like to know is what happens to enemies that you kill, because in Escape from Tarkov, the
Mhm.
big thing is that it's a very high risk game,
Yeah,
and anyone can get it in that game. You could go in with absolutely no gear and you can one tap someone with the most gear, who could have millions of dollars worth of in-game currencies worth of gear, and you can take that gear for yourself. But in Hunt Showdown, for example, it's your loadout and your perks. And when you down someone or kill someone in Hunt Showdown, you can take their weapon.
mhm.
But in Hazard Zone, I'm curious if you can take their loadout's weapon out of the game and then bring it back in with you. These are the things that I think are going to drive it. That I think is a bit unclear at the moment.
Yeah, it's unclear. I don't know. I imagine you'll be able to pick it up in the match and use it if you maybe if your main weapon runs out of ammo. But they're not. They weren't specific about like, can I bring this back? Because you spend
Yeah,
money on your loadout,
yeah,
so it makes sense for you to bring something else with you that maybe you can use again. It's not again. It's not very clear.
yeah,
One thing that we should mention regarding the sort of the flow of the game, obviously your squad will be made up of the different specialists.
yeah,
There will be 10 at launch, but you can only have one of each within every squad. So you can't be rolling with like
yeah,
four Michael K. Williams or four
yeah.
McKays as
I
much
think
as
that's
you.
really nice how he's right at the front and center of the key art for the
Yeah,
game mode as
it's really
well.
unfortunate that he left us just before this thing
Yeah,
blew up. But yeah, you'll see a lot of him.
yeah, big up, because they seem like they're being really respectful towards him as well, and his family and his team. Um, I think that's everything. I think that's everything we've covered with Hazard Zone. It's quite an easy game mode to understand, and I think it's Battlefield's answer to a subgenre of battle royale games, because they are quite open and they have been saying this from the outset and throughout that this is not a battle royale. And what makes battle royale is a battle royale is the last man standing concept of
Yeah,
it, right? But what changes it is you might all start the same in these game modes, but it's the objective and how it plays out, essentially, and how it ends.
yeah.
How what the objective is and how it ends. That changes it up. Similar concept, but different. But I think that is Hazard Zone. Anything else you want to add?
No, it's yeah, that's basically it. Like it's a lot of unknowns right now.
Yeah.
For example, this is the mode that everyone expected to be free to play.
Yeah.
They're not talking about that. Like they haven't mentioned that.
Hmm.
Maybe they will make it free to play at some point.
Yeah.
I get the impression that it's not very fleshed out in a way to stand on its own as a free to play thing.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at the upgrades that we were talking about, it's like a lot of it is like passives. It's like more mags,
Hmm.
more.
Hmm.
It's not like, oh, this is game changing. So maybe they will flesh it out over time. The good thing is it's available on all the big maps, so there's a lot of kind of content and discoverability for you to
Yeah.
think, excuse me, sink your teeth into. But as far as like the meta game, it seems a little undercooked right now. But again, so many questions, not enough
Yeah.
answers.
That is it.
But yeah, we want to see more.
Yeah. That's everything we know about Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone. Peace out, everyone.
See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. It's free and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Take a look at our other videos if you like. Also, check out VG247.com for around the clock gaming news and updates.